twice that when you're out on that mound, you could be practicing before, it looks like a thimble. It's so far away. Even Stephen A. mentioned how it was so far away.
It's far. Listen, pitching is far, period. I mean, even when... I've always found the pitcher's mound, it's hard to throw an accurate throw that far. Do you guys see the picture I just sent?
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad.
Don, that is a horrific, non-existent leg motion.
Well, he's landed already, Peter.
It kind of just looks like somebody that has never really done
What do you mean
that.
he's landed already?
His landing, I mean, that's just his follow-through leg. What are you talking about?
Have you ever seen a man throw a ball and their leg makes a shape like that?
I have seen men throw balls.
All right, you know what? Well, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to lay out for the next 2.5 because I've never seen it. So I've thrown a ball. I played baseball for all high school. Never seen someone's leg make a perfect W like that. That's not a thing. So it's evident. Listen, if Stephen A. had gotten up in an air ball to three-pointer, that's embarrassing. For a guy who hasn't thrown a baseball, admittedly, he said this in his own words, since middle school, I just don't think this was that bad.
Well, that
motion
thing,
there is all that worries me.
I mean, we love Jarv. He's amazing what he does with our picks. Mm-hmm. Somehow he photoshopped because Garrett Cole was brilliant last night. I mean, as good as he's been all year, I think he probably nailed down the Cy Young. But in the 8th inning, he wild pitched the only run he allowed in, and he bounced it. And David Cohn said that's a Stephen A. pitch. 8 innings after Stephen A. did it. And then Jarv, you know how, at the bottom of the bug where the score is on the top left-hand corner, he somehow photoshopped in Stephen A. instead of like slider, sweeper, fastball. Cool. So funny. And that might be a thing from now on. When a pitcher bounces a ball, it's going to be a Stephen A.
But it wouldn't have been a wild pitch, is Peter's point.
Right.
Is that he bounced it. But if that had happened in a real game, no harm, no foul, because it would have been a ball. It would have been kind of embarrassing for a major leaguer to do that, but it didn't go by the catcher.
Well, he didn't throw it hard enough to go by the catcher.
But the catcher didn't have to dive.
And you had a professional catcher back there. It's Kyle Higashioka.
But he was right there. He didn't even have to move.
I felt a little sorry for Stephen A. He got booed.
Why? Well, you knew that was happening.
Booed no matter what.
Why?
Because he's not.
There's people that like him.
Yeah, but not in the baseball circles. I was surprised that caller that we had earlier yesterday is in the majority of baseball fans, like on social media, because I don't consume a lot of Stephen A. because a lot of it's during the day when we're on the air, but the baseball fans do not respect him. So that's why they get all up in arms that he's there. Although I'm sure the head of the Star Insurance who threw out the first pitch, we all love him because, he's got an encyclopedia of baseball knowledge. I mean, the people that throw out the first pitch, they donate money. They're sponsors. It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to. There's not some kind of questionnaire you got to answer before you get to throw out the first pitch.
Well, he said he got 2 more on First Take today. He said he got 2 more requests from baseball teams to throw out the first pitch. One being the Mets.
Oh, if he wants to get booed, it'll be even better there.
Why? Because he said he's a Yankee fan?
Yeah. I mean, it's bad enough that Yankee fans don't respect him because they don't think he's a fan. But Mets fans, it's a double.
The Mets don't get it. No, the Mets don't get it.
Why?
Because if they pay attention, which you should, then he hates the Mets. He makes fun of me for being a Met fan. And he's a Yankee fan. So what is the benefit of having a Yankee fan who's talked ill of the Mets throughout the first pitch? Come on, man. There's enough celebrity Met fans that can throw out first pitches. You don't need Stephen A. Smith.
So you're saying Hank Azaria, maybe Kevin James? Yeah.
Tons of them.
The Mets also saw the Yankees got a lot of publicity from him throwing the first pitch yesterday in a game that really didn't mean that much other than Garrett Cole.
No, it was a good decision in that regard for sure. But also, Michael, I think Stephen A. goes into that kind of thing knowing, he plays a heel. Stephen A. is not a babyface. He plays a bad guy on TV. If you were a fan of what team, what would make you a real Stephen A. guy? He has takes that will absolutely get every fan base mad.
Well, he likes
what he does.
I think if he tossed up the first, the tip off in the Garden, he'd get cheered, wouldn't he?
Maybe Knick fans wouldn't hate on him. I would say that, but I think Stephen A. generally, what makes him so great is he's comfortable being a heel.
Paul O'Neill asked him off the air when he came to the booth, well, what football team do you like, the Jets or the Giants? Neither. I like the Steelers. The first game I ever went to was the Immaculate Reception. He's unbelievable. What, you don't believe that?
No, I don't believe it for a second.
What? Why would he make that
I don't
up?
know. Why do people make things up? I bet you if you
there's gotta be a
fact-check
reason
that,
to make
he
sense.
was not. He was not. He's the same age as me. So he was in Pittsburgh at 5? No. That didn't happen. No. I love Stephen.
You're calling Stephen A. liar?
I guess in this case, yes, and I'm a big fan of Stephen A. I do not believe that he was at the Immaculate Reception. Zero chance.
Unbelievable.
Why are you doubting
Why
him?
not? Peter, I don't find it believable. Is that wrong? Am I supposed to just blindly believe him because I like the guy?
Yes.
He was how old again?
He would have to have been 5. That wasn't.
Is he your age or is he a little older?
He might be a few months older than me. Stand by.
He's 55.
Yeah, I'm
55.
So we're the same age.
So when was the Immaculate Reception?
72.
He's not. No, 4 or 5. No. No. And in what circumstance would he be at a playoff game in Pittsburgh at 4?
Because he's Stephen
No,
A.
he wasn't Stephen A. then.
Yes, he was. He was
this reminds me-
forming into Stephen A.
This is like a Mayor Adams story.
I'm not being that guy.
Yeah, I think
I
you are.
just find it unbelievable. Now, if I'm proven wrong, he shows me the stub. He shows me a picture of him there.
You need the stub.
So you want him to show you
Well,
the
he's
stuff?
not going to show it to me because
you don't think it exists.
Because he's above such things. He doesn't have to prove anything to me. I'm just telling you, I don't believe it. And if he ran it up
Now,
the
John
pole,
Winthrop, right? John Winthrop, who was our fearless leader, who really would defend Stephen if Stephen came into the studio and took an axe to your brain. He said maybe he meant it's the first game he watched. I heard him say it's the first game he went to.
so even John doesn't believe, and John loves the guy.
No. Well, John's trying to give him an out because he'll defend Stephen A. at every turn.
As he should. He was his right hand for a very long time.
Yeah, but you know what happened? Stephen A. cut off his right hand, didn't he?
Wow. I don't think that's what happened exactly, but John knows where the bodies
So the
are buried.
Immaculate Reception was December 23rd, 1972. So 2 days before Christmas.
That's right.
He's in
And all through the
he's in
house.
Pittsburgh at the age of 4. I don't believe it. I mean, he's from Philadelphia. I know that's in Pennsylvania.
No, he's from Hollis, Queens. He was born
Oh, that's
in
right.
the
He
Bronx,
worked
grew
in
up Hollis,
Philadelphia.
Queens.
He worked in Philadelphia.
Right,
So why
but
would a
that-
kid from Queens be in Pittsburgh 2 days before Christmas in a playoff game?
Maybe there was a family meeting and
Playoffs.
You know what? I want him on, and I want to. Well, first of all, we got to find out because John might be right, and you might have misheard. Is the first game he saw? There was
I think he said it was. I'm pretty sure he said it's the first game I went to.
Peter, do you believe it?
My inclination is no.
Because
It's
you know why,
quite a
guys?
game.
Do you want to know why? Because you're both haters.
I'm not just.
It's just quite the game to be at. It's a tough one.
Well, there's going to be some 5-year-old that was
The
in.
5-year-olds were there.
But there's going to be a 5-year-old 20 years from now. Oh, I was in Arlington, Texas when Aaron Judge hit a 60-second home run. There will have been a 5-year-old there.
There was. I bet there were tons of 5-year-olds there.
All right.
Yeah, and they'll talk about it.
All right, his birthday is October 14th, 67. So he would have been 5.
Maybe that was his birthday
No.
gift. Anyway, that's Diamond Notes brought to you by London Jewelers, the engagement experts. Visit London Jewelers today at any of their 7 locations, including the newest location at the mall at Short Hills. All right, let's go to the phones, 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Bernie in the Bronx. Bernie.
Hey, guys. How are you today?
Good. You?
Just good. Very good. Thank you. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so if you just bear with me 1 second. Peter, a couple of weeks ago, Charlotte Flair interview, spot on. Great job.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Now, last night, 2 positives I take away from the game. Not that there were really positives, but this kid McFadden, what a
Yeah, he
ball
was fun to
player
watch
this
last
kid
night.
is. He showed up big time last night. And I think our punter does a great job. And he was really tested last night. I think we're lucky in those 2 spots. But our defensive backfield, when are they going to learn to tackle? There's not a guy back there that can tackle. It's ridiculous. and the prevent defense on these third and longs, you're giving them up 10 yards. You need third and 15. You're giving them 10 yards right off the bat by playing so deep. I mean, you gotta challenge these guys, and that's been the Giant way. And I just hope it changes. Jones, I don't blame too much because that offensive line, it's right now it's Swiss cheese. So let's hope we get better against Seattle and we can turn this thing around a little. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, too.
You got it. Thank you. I don't think they play man because they're not good enough. Is that fair? So they're giving them a lot of cushion so they don't get burned over the top. But yesterday they got burned underneath because yards after catch. I mean, they couldn't tackle Samuel.
That was the thing. They couldn't. The tackling is the biggest thing because these receivers it's very difficult to defend in the secondary. Most of it is just getting pressure on the quarterback, hoping to disturb a throw. That's where you get your turnovers. That's why they haven't had a turnover yet because they don't sack the quarterback enough. Now, it did get to Purdy a couple of times, but not his blind side. He was able to prepare for it. It was nice pressure, but they didn't hit his arm. They didn't interfere with any kind of his throws. It's tough. These good wide receivers, these defensive backs on an island by themselves. Not everybody Sauce Gardner. But even Sauce, one-on-one with some of these wide receivers, they're going to come down with the ball. So you better get to the quarterback. That's the way to defend in this league, and that's the way to get turnovers.
All right, so this might give us a little clarity on the Stephen A. stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
He was on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, and he asked Smith about his favorite football team. He said the Steelers, diehard Steelers fan. The first game I ever saw was the Immaculate Reception. Wow, when I was 6 years old. You're saying he was 5.
That's right.
My dad, the Immaculate Reception, Franco Harris against the Raiders. I fell in love with the black and gold ever since. Now, he doesn't specify whether he was there or not. I think he told Paul, first game I saw, first game I was at? I don't know.
It sounded like it.
Now I've lost all confidence in this being a true story.
And not only that, and now you look bad like you were going after Steven when really Michael's the liar.
I'm not lying. He said it's the first game I ever saw. And then on First Take, when Franco died, he said, this was the first football play I ever saw. That's why I became a Steelers fan.
Yeah. Not the same as in person.
He shows me the stub.
Yeah.
It's not that Stephen A's a liar. I've never heard him tell a lie. It didn't seem conceivable that a guy from Queens would be, and not knowing that he has any family in Pittsburgh, would be at the Immaculate Reception at the age of 5. Wow.
I'm telling you, this is straight out of the article I read about Eric Adams this week. He tells a lot of stories from his childhood, but when you do the math, he was 4 years old for everything. It's impossible.
Well, that seems like a political thing these days.
What, to say that you were...
Just to say things that even... don't they realize in the age of Google we can check
that's the thing.
everything
They
out?
find it out. Everybody's got a story of a friend of theirs or somebody that, like 30 years ago, there was no way to find out. Okay, I don't believe you, but I can't prove you're wrong. But now...
I've never even told you guys this. Do you know that I was sitting on the grassy knoll in 64?
Is that true?
My family was we went to Dallas, and I was sitting on the grassy knoll. Nobody knows it.
Go ahead.
Never interviewed by anybody, but I was there.
No, because I
did not know that.
You didn't even speak.
When I was 4, I couldn't speak at 3.
How old? No, you were born in 61.
61.
And it was 60, so you were 2.
It was 2 or 2
It was 64. 63, yeah.
I thought you were there.
Yeah, you know, I was in Dallas in 64. That's my bad.
It was you don't want to mess that up. It's November 63.
I'm sorry.
That's
my bad.
Although you would put a 2-year-old on a grassy knoll, right? Safe, play, maybe lay a blanket down, Peter, right? Makes sense.
There's so many. It makes a lot of sense, Don, when you say it like that.
Have you
Let's
been,
go to
Peter?
Zach.
To the grassy knoll?
Yeah,
remember I just went a couple years ago, remember?
It is crazy, like how tiny it all looks. Like everything looks, it's so weird.
Yeah, it was neat.
I don't think neat is the way I describe it. It's kind of surreal and macabre. Neat?
No, but being there is neat also.
It's not neat. There's nothing neat about it.
I disagree. It was sad and it was macabre, but at the same time, I have to be realistic with you guys. It was, let me just do the math real quick.
Hold on, Zach.
30.
I'm sorry.
60 years ago. It was 60 years ago. So I'm over what's happened now. It was sad to be there, but it was seeing these places that you've heard about your entire life there was an element of need. And being in the book depository, there was an element of need.
Yeah, I didn't feel that. But anyway, Zach in Des Moines. What's up, Zach?
Des Moines.
Happy Friday, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call.
How are you consuming this, Zach?
That's what I was just going to say. I am listening on the ESPN New York radio app.
Beautiful.
I discovered you guys from Don's rants on YouTube, so I think you guys will be fine on the AM radio.
Thank you. We hope so.
Into my take, quick football one before I talk about the reason why you took my call. Peter, maybe I'm drinking the Commanders' Kool-Aid, but given the contract situation and the play, I think I'd rather have Sam Howell over Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones at this point.
Love what you're saying.
Why?
Well, I mean, yeah, over Zach Wilson. You sure about Daniel Jones? After two games?
I think for $40 million a year, I'd rather have the fifth-round rookie contract and somebody who can throw it outside the numbers.
You can throw it outside the numbers.
2 games, Zach.
Doesn't have time
Zach,
to do it.
2 games.
Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. That's just my take.
I love the Kool-Aid. It tastes great. Enjoy it.
Thanks. And
you guys are crazy.
you guys would be doing the show a disservice if Randy Scott is not the one to tase Don. If he
it's a great point.
The football pick'em bet.
Yeah.
Just for the way that you guys throw it over to her for the traffic, she deserves the tasing.
Zach, let me let you know a little secret, Zach. One of the pinhead suits here was talking to me and Don before the show. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to do this. And Don said, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to do it in my backyard. We'll videotape it.
Yeah.
But they're already trying to kill it.
I'll get a celebrity. I'll sign a waiver.
Make me
I will not sue. And by the way, 3 games. Come on.
The pinhead suit also made a good point, Don. People have died from being tased.
Is that true?
And you know what Don said, Peter?
What?
It's time to go. It's time to go.
I can think of less honorable ways to go.
Getting tased for a bet is an honorable way to go.
That's nobody would say I wasn't committed to my job and the success of the show. Now, back to the ridiculous phone call we just took. And Peter's a fan, and I think Peter would even acknowledge this. Sam Howell's played 3 games, so now you're going to make a determination. Do we know that he's even going to throw 24 touchdowns and 12 interceptions the way Daniel Jones did his rookie year? Threw for 3,000 yards. I mean, we make it seem like so we're going to judge Sam Howell's first 2 games and his 3 games overall compared to the 3 games that Daniel Jones played, and then I'm good. And you know what? If Peter, you're going to see it if he starts to play decently the way Jones did, okay, not great, throwing for 3,000 yards and whatever, and it's time to decide his 5th-year option. Well, what do you think he's going to get paid? 3-4 years from now, it's going to probably be $40 million.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think the only thing the caller was saying is that at this very moment, Jones is not good enough. Even if he's better than Howell, he's not better enough for the contract he has. You'd rather have a quarterback you're not sure what he is, but he's on a rookie deal.
It also depends on the time. Like I had somebody saying to me, well, Josh Allen makes less than $40 million. Yeah, but if he became a free agent tomorrow, how much is he going to get paid?
And also, Howell's a clear Nepo baby. He's the grandson of Thurston and Lovey. I mean, of course he's going to be.
But those are fictional characters, Michael, on a...
I thought that was
on
real.
A show that I quite frankly don't know how it has any legs whatsoever. Like if they
I would agree
if they lost the show, like if they didn't tape it, like would anybody miss it? And again, I've said it before.
I think it's a fun show.
It's the worst theme
makes
song.
No sense.
You pay somebody to write a song about a sitcom, and they can't even get the name in it. Here on Gilligan's Isle, like you couldn't even put the full name of the show because they knew the show was garbage.
Well, but they should have changed the name of the show to Gilligan's Isle.
Well, they did because they figured, why bother? Who 60 years from now is going to remember? And the fact that they do because of people like you.
No chance.
Herb Street's going to join us in just a moment if we stop talking.
I'm sorry.
But you guys don't look at the clock. We have a guest coming up. What is wrong with you people?
I know what time it is.
It's time to shut up. This is Michael K. here to tell you about my favorite line.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We've worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
Startups move fast. You need a bank that can keep up.
I love how easy it is to use.
The design, in general.
The interface is incredibly user-friendly.
The ability to easily see all of the transactions and search the history of them.
I really like the analytics that you see on the dashboard. It's like seeing your business in HD.
Getting started was maybe one of the most delightful onboarding experiences I've had.
I can just log in, send a wire, check my balance, and move on with my life.
At Warby Parker, we believe in vision for all. Not just in the sense that we offer lots of frame styles and sizes, because we do. Or that we have glasses, sunglasses, contacts, and eye exams. There's also that. But because we believe everyone has the right to see. So for every pair sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free, or visit a nearby store.
People said I was crazy to do this. Just a surf coach who wanted to shake up the sunglass industry. I wanted something different, radical, and fun. I didn't want to blend in, so I created Blenders. Born on the beach in San Diego, now rocked with pride worldwide. We're bright, we're bold, at a price that everyone can afford. Don't blend in. Welcome to your new favorite shades.
You definitely do not need to go to business school to become more successful.
Great negotiation is about great collaboration.
Pull the plug. Fire faster.
No matter what you do, you are in sales.
Don't worry, we've got your butt covered.
Up your pinstripe IQ with Yes Guess, the hottest new game on the Yes app. Every day, take your shot at naming the Yankees player in 6 guesses or less. Plus, you'll earn points to redeem for great Yes rewards. Play Yes Guess, now on the Yes app.
Allergies don't have to be scary. Spray Flonase Sensimus daily for non-drowsy, long-lasting relief in a scent-free, gentle mist. Psst, psst. Flonase, all good. Also, try our allergy, headache, and nighttime pills.
Liberty Mutual customized my car insurance, and I saved hundreds. With the money I saved, I started a dog walking business. Oh! Oh no, it's just too funny! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty. My brother Joe and I lived right across the state line from each other. We worked our whole lives here. So when he got mesothelioma from working in the yards, we knew who could help. Whites and Luxembourg. Their results and experience are hard to match. Now, Joe's wife and kids are taken care of. I'll never regret making that call as soon as I did.
Call Whites and Luxembourg today at 855-VERDICT. That's 855-VERDICT.
Oh, it's about to be a party in here. BetMGM's got all the sports betting in one place. And it's live, baby. Ooh, we're placing money lines in real time. We got second half spreads and third set winners as they happen. Overs hitting in extra innings. Live is where the action is at. And with BetMGM, woo, I got the best seat in the house.
Just leave me alone.
Join your favorite ESPN New York hosts at the Ultimate Tailgate Party located in Lot G11 before the Jets take on New England this Sunday. We have plenty of tailgate games, music, and prize giveaways. The ESPN New York Ultimate Jets Tailgate is brought to you by Corona, Don Julio Tequila, and Guinness. Michael K., Don LaGreca, Peter Rosenberg with you as we wait on Kirk Herbstreit. Let me quickly give you the Yankees starting lineup tonight against the Diamondbacks on 98.7 ESPN, brought to you by Bigelow Tea and Corona. Esteban Florial in center field leads off. Playing right field, Aaron Judge, batting second. Hitting third, the second baseman, Gleyber Torres. Austin Wells will catch. Hit his first home run the other day. He's going to bat cleanup. Batting fifth and DHing Giancarlo Stanton, hitting 188, 2 for his last 39. That's 051 in his last 11 games. The 2 hits, both home runs. A big 3-run home run in the first inning for the Yankees. Jake Bauers yesterday returns into the lineup. He's at first base batting sixth, batting seventh, and playing shortstop Anthony Volpe. Oswaldo Cabrera will be in left field, and he'll bat eighth, batting ninth, and playing third base Oswald Peraza. And the pitcher for the Yankees tonight is Luke Weaver. That's tonight's Yankees starting lineup, brought to you by Bigelow Tea. Bigelow Tea is a proud supporter of the Michael K. Show and the official hot tea of the New York Yankees. And Corona, enjoy the finer life of sports. Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. We will make our picks a little bit later on, 1-800-919-3776. We're still waiting on our guest,
the
right?
Herb Man?
Yeah. All right, so let me take a couple phone calls. Danny in Long Island. Danny, talk to us.
Good afternoon, man. Hey, listen, Don, last week I heard you were having a problem with the human excretory system. I posted an article on your Facebook page, help you along with the what you're looking to accomplish.
Okay,
there.
thank you.
How to move things along, so to speak. Now, listen, as far as being tased, having tasered 3 people during my glorious career, it is not something that you want to do at any point. I don't care what the money value is. Death is in play. The electrical shock could disrupt, it's a shock wave to your body. Your heart works on electrical waves. I hit a guy with a taser once. He dropped so hard, I thought he was dead. It's not to be fooled with.
Is it fun to do, though?
Well, the guy was chopping a tree down in the middle of Manhattan with an axe. And I get out of the car, and I told my partner, my driver, I was a sergeant, he takes one step at me, you drop him with your gun. You knock him. So, because I had to get close enough to this idiot to use it. And I said, excuse me, sir, would you mind dropping that axe? And he looked at me and he said, this axe? And he started walking towards me. Got within about 6 feet. I shot the dart. He did the worm on the ground. We handcuffed him. And I have pictures if I bring it to the next tailgate party. It was, after, but it's nothing you want to mess with. That's the point. As far as football is concerned, if there's a stat, yards after contact, I'm pretty sure the 49ers are leading that stat. Because I don't know if it's coaching or just having a complete bunch of studs and things rub off on each other. They do not go down. They fight through every fight. And I believe that has a cumulative impact on the defense because then you're approaching a guy who's going to explode into you. Do you not approach that slightly differently now? And then that leads to guys arm tackling and getting stiff-armed, and it's amazing that every single play, every single person on that team is just knocking over people and getting extra yards.
Well, Danny, we thank you for the phone call, but we do have our guest, Kirk Herbstreit. I know he's a busy man, so we're thrilled that he's taking some time for us. Kirk, it's Michael, Don, and Peter. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great. I do have a message I have to send to you. I was just told to send it to you from Paul O'Neill, who I'm working with tonight. He said, tell Kirk hello, and he continues to dodge me on the golf course. That's his quote, not mine.
He's too silky smooth at that lefty swing. He's right. I'm dodging everybody on the golf course. There's no doubt about it.
Now, how are you even concentrating on college football and pro football when I know that your heart's with the Reds?
It is. I'm trying to juggle everything, not to mention 4 sons. I'm actually back in Cincinnati for my youngest has a game tonight. So, yeah, it's fun. I tell you, Reds baseball has been my passion. I think about it. I grew up in the 70s, Southwest Ohio, with the Big Red Machine. So that was my intro into baseball. And so I've been a massive fan. I'm a football guy, but truly a diehard baseball fan. One of those guys that gets excited for pitchers and catchers. So I'm all in. And finally, the Reds have a team that's much more competitive. It's one of those small markets, but there's a lot of history and tradition. Goes way back, even before the Big Red Machine. So it's cool to see this town have something to get excited about.
Now, you got a chance to see the Giants firsthand last night in that loss to the 49ers, and you get a lot of opinions. Mike Tannenbaum had an opinion of, well, you know what? Quarterbacks are supposed to elevate, find ways to win games. Watching last night's game, looking at Daniel Jones in preparation for last night's game, do you think that he's getting help around him and not taking advantage, or is he just doesn't have a shot because there just isn't enough talent around him, or at least protecting him?
Well, I think up front is the biggest concern I see. I mean, Saquon brings an obvious presence in that backfield. But I think last night, just going into the game as a broadcast, our crew, Al and I and our team, I mean, the biggest thing that we talked about in our production meeting on Thursday morning was, okay, what can Brian Dable come up with to try to help Daniel out with a short week? You know, he's got his offensive line. If you really add up all of them, a lot of these guys are playing some of their first football, and here they are in a short week going up against that defensive line. So I knew the plan would be to get the ball out fast, to try to help Daniel at least have some time. I thought early the execution was pretty good. The problem, obviously, was if you're going to look at Daniel Jones, and I think all of us, we look at quarterbacks, we probably give them way too much praise when it's going good, and we want to crush them when it's not. I think there's a couple of things. They're going to have to develop a downfield threat. I mean, I know they went out and got Jalen Hyatt. Waller's supposed to be a guy that can give you a stretch to the middle of the field. But last night it was not on display, you know, and I think as they move forward, I'm sure Brian Dable is going to think of different ways to try to find some opportunities. And getting Saquon back healthy, make the safeties have to try to respect that part of their game is a big part of this offense. But if they're going to ever make a run, if they're ever going to be able to try to get on the winning side, I think they're going to have to find ways to become more explosive in the passing game. And it's easy to point the finger at Daniel Jones, but I think it has to do with the offensive line, giving him some time, and then somebody's going to have to develop as that threat downfield.
All right, so let's go to the other team. Is Purdy as good as he's looked, Kirk, or is that offense so great? And Adam Schefter's reporting that Shanahan and Lynch both got contract extensions today. Is that offense so good that you could put any credible quarterback there and they're going to look great?
I'm a massive fan of that organization. I have nothing other than just admiration from afar. It's not like I know anybody there. I mean, I've followed them and know them as far as just my job. But I have, we did Philly last week. We did San Fran this week. And I even said on the air, there's just something different. You know, I'm sure you see that, Michael, when you get around Major League Baseball. You get in some of these organizations, it just feels different from ownership down. You know, the Cardinals in baseball used to remind me of that. You know, they could lose the manager, they could use Pujols, lose anybody, and here they come, you know, with the next group of players. And that's kind of what the 49ers reminded me of. Now, with that being said, don't forget what Brock Purdy stepped into. I mean, Trey Lance was the third pick overall, still had Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think a lot of people just looked at him as a throw-in, maybe a practice squad type of guy. I know from following, he had 46 career starts at Iowa State. He helped change the culture of that program. The guy's just a perfect, if you were going to go in and hand pick a guy that would want to run, you would want to run Kyle Shanahan's system, which is quarterback friendly, incredibly complex, pre-snap with all the movement. You know, they're killing plays, they're getting out of this, they're getting into that. It's more cerebral than it is, this guy is 6'3", 230, and he throws the ball 80 yards. That has nothing to do with running this offense. It's all about processing. It's all about having answers. And this guy, and he even told us in our meeting on Wednesday, he said, you know, all that I did at Iowa State, I had 46 career starts, and I'm a big rep guy from this college game going to the pro, the guys that seem to have more of an opportunity to be turnkey and play right away. This guy said it's been really an extension of what I did at Iowa State. Now it's more sophisticated, and the way Kyle calls it is different. But it's not like I'm learning this whole new offense. And so I think that tells you a lot about how he's been able to grasp it. His teammates believe in him, and it started last year when he's running the scout team. Guys like Fred Warner are like, hey, Kyle, I don't know who this guy is, but he's really good. And so when his opportunity came, I think against Tampa, he took advantage of it, and this team is bought in. So it's a combination of Kyle calls a really good game. It's a really challenging offense to prepare for with their two-back look. They get into two tight ends. It's kind of an outlier in today's game. And then you combine what Brock Purdy does with the cerebral approach to the game, and then all the playmakers he has and versatility around him. It's a perfect fit. To me, they're the team to beat, not just in the NFC. I think they're the team to beat in all of football.
Game days in South Bend, Notre Dame, Ohio State. How do you see that going down?
It's Notre Dame's big chance. This is their opportunity. They've looked really good with Sam Hartman coming over from Wake Forest, and now they get a big showcase game with the whole nation watching against the big brand at Ohio State, NBC, and in a night game. So this is what, if you're a Notre Dame fan, you wanted. But face it, Notre Dame's the brand that we all knew going way back decades ago to where it's been over the last 20 or 30 years has not been where they want it to be. This is a big opportunity to kind of slam their fist down on the desk and say, we're here and we're ready to play with the big boys. It seems like these last 7, 8, 9 years in college football, it's been Alabama, it's been Clemson, it's been Georgia, it's been Ohio State. And as a guy who does this, I'm an Ohio State former captain and alum. I find it refreshing that we have Texas and Florida State and Washington out west and what Colorado's doing. It's a lot of fun for the sport. It's a lot of fun for the game. For Ohio State, it's finding out where they are. They have the best receivers in the country, and they got a young quarterback that kid out of Philly, St. Joe Prep, who played in high school with Marvin Harrison Jr. And he's played well. The last game he really played well, but he's replacing C.J. Stroud, big shoes to fill. And now he's on the road with a young offensive line. So how he and that line handle that crowd, a night game in South Bend, I think will go a long way in whether or not Ohio State's able to hang in there and pull off a win.
Our very own Kirk Herbstreit is the guest here on the Michael Kay Show. Obviously, people that aren't college football fans, Kirk, are football fans of Colorado. Deion has brought people into the tent. Is that team for real, or do they have a come-down-to-earth moment against Oregon this week?
Yeah, next 2 weeks are for real. I mean, they go to Oregon, which is a tough place to play for anybody. People who don't follow college football. Austin Stadium, it's not the biggest stadium. It's one of the loudest, and they're gonna be very excited to see Deion and Colorado come in there. It's the first time I've said that in over 20 years. To see Colorado come in and fans on the opposing side get excited. They have. You talk about trying to equate what they would be in MLB or the NFL. I mean, they have been a forgotten brand. So it's not just what Deion's done, it's he's done it with a doormat, and that's what makes it so fascinating. And the way he's done it, with some of the speeches on social media saying I'm bringing in my own luggage and it's Louis, and sure enough he's backed that up with some big wins, and now all of a sudden they're not just one of the bigger sports, as you said, in college football. I think they're one of the bigger sports in sports right now. And so I think this week will be a challenge for them. Shedeur Sanders, his son, is for real. I think he's a Heisman candidate. Travis Hunter went down, as you saw, with that injury or that late hit, so he doesn't have him. But they've got weapons. I think their only chance is to try to stay with Oregon and score with Oregon. Oregon's going to get a lot of points against this Colorado defense. But can Shedeur and the Buffalo stay with them would be the question. Then they go back home and play Caleb Williams, who's the Heisman frontrunner. And so these back-to-back weeks, as big a story as this has been, it's either about to go to a whole nother stratosphere if they pull off these two wins, or it'll slow down a bit because these will be two of the tougher games they have.
Kurt, that's what I was going to ask you. In some fantasy world where they somehow get both of these monster upsets, are we then talking about an all-time level story?
Yeah, I just want to say this, that we all know Prime from when he played. Those of us who are old enough to remember him as a player, and he was dynamic, and he was polarizing, and he was one of the best athletes to ever play. But he was flamboyant, and he had a personality, and people that were on his team and fans of his team loved him, and if you were against him, you couldn't stand him. It's just been who he's been since he was at Florida State and then into his NFL career. And he's the same way as a coach. But if you really pull the layers back and watch, what blows you away is how well coached this team is. He's got some really old-school coaches on his staff. These guys are disciplined. They play hard. They play the game the right way. If they don't, they come out of the game. So, yeah, if they were somehow able to pull off a win this week, they're, a 3-touchdown underdog?
Yeah.
Just like week 1 when they upset TCU. If they win that game and come back home and outscore Caleb Williams in a duel between his son and Caleb Williams, and they're 5-0. Yeah, this would be a ridiculous. It's already a ridiculous story because, again, remembering where Colorado has been, it's already insane, even if he doesn't win these 2 games. But, yeah, it would be one of the greater stories that I can remember. I've been doing this 28 years at ESPN. This would be one of the better stories that I could ever remember.
Kirk, we thank you for coming on. I do want to say one thing. I've never had an opportunity to speak with you, but when you watch College Game Day and the absolute affection and love you have to Lee Corso, it really warms my heart. It's a sign of respect, obviously, and I was wondering, did you guys hit it off right away all those years ago, or is it just something that has grown because you've been together so long?
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. I think it just grew. I always came in. My dad was a coach. He coached with Woody Hayes and Bo Schembechler, and I just grew up always respecting coaches. So when I first got hired, I replaced Craig James, and they had a very fun relationship where they would argue with each other. And when I got first hired, they told me, "Hey, you need to be more like Craig James," because I wasn't being that way. I was being more respectful, and it just kind of naturally came over time, over the years. And him, once in a while you bump into people and they actually listen to when you talk to them about your family and what you're going through personally, and they actually make eye contact and they give you feedback. He did that to me when my sons were born prematurely, and it was a very scary time. And he's one of the people that I would talk to, and there's just little things like that over time. And he would talk to me about things he's going through, and just like any relationship you have in your life, you just you talk more than just work, and he became almost like a family member to me. And so, yeah, what you see is just me showing respect and me just trying to honor him the best that I can.
Nah, it's great. You're doing an unbelievable job. Get some rest because your schedule is off the charts, man. And we appreciate you carving out some time.
Man. All right, you guys have a great weekend.
Thanks,
Thank you, man. That's Kirk Herbstreit. I don't know how he does it, man. I don't know how he does it.
I love it. That's it.
We were behind the 8 ball, so but I was going to heap another compliment on him because you guys know I'm not the world's biggest college football fan, to put it mildly. Had no idea what I'd think of him doing the NFL, and I think he is the best addition to NFL commentary teams that we've had in a very long time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also think that you have a lot to tell us about FanDuel.
You're so right about that.
Hi, my name's Ian. I'm a musician, a singer, a content creator, and I'm also a dasher. Dashing gives me the freedom and flexibility I need to earn money while still pursuing my dream of being a professional musician. I can go earn money whenever I want and cash out as soon as I'm done dashing. Download the DoorDash Dasher app today. Get started on your goals.
Having those high interest credit cards, it felt unmanageable. My name is Belinda, and with Upstart, I was able to save money with a personal loan. From the moment that I checked my rate to getting that approval was just a few minutes. I felt relieved having the funds in my account so quickly. I was able to turn all of those, big payments into one small payment, and I was able to breathe.
Easy online borrowing. Personal loans up to $50,000. Go to Upstart.com.
When we started Warby Parker, we just sold glasses, and only online. But people liked them, a lot. So we offered more things, like sunglasses and contacts. And then we thought, what if we sold eyewear online and in stores? So we did that. And now we have stores in neighborhoods all over. There you can chat with friendly opticians and get eye exams from top-notch doctors. Now, no matter where you go, we've got your eyes covered.
With ButcherBox, we deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Join and get free ground pork and drumsticks for 3 months.
there's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
Totally. But keep swiping. This is so much fun.
This makes it so easy.
Yes, that was a good one.
Let's go. Play your favorite slots today, and you can win the next big jackpot. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $1,000 in casino bonus funds, plus 200 free spins. Only at GoldenNuggetCasino.com.
Fall is here. Time to settle into new routines. Except, why settle? With the Ford SUV lineup, there's no compromising on the features you want. Carpool-ready cargo space? Check. Connectivity that turns heads? Check. Capability to venture off the grid? Oh yeah. Ford SUVs make your everyday anything but routine. Right now, lease the Ford Bronco Sport for $279 a month for 36 months. View more offers at buyfordnow.com.
Chris Sheeran back here for the Michael K. Show. The Coal Train on an express route to another win is brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole is enjoying his best season as a Yankee and could be lined up for some hardware for the first time in his career as well. The most prestigious singular award that is bestowed upon a major league pitcher, the Cy Young Award, of course. Cole was a runner-up 2 times, once in 2019 with the Astros and 2021 with the Yankees. Last night's victory gave him 14 wins, one more than last season, and it improved his Yankees record to 50-23 in his first 4 years with the club over his first 107 starts. He leads the American League in ERA, starts, and innings pitched. Plus, he is third in strikeouts with 217. 9 of those punch-outs came last night over Cole's 8 innings of work. He allowed just 2 hits and 1 earned run over his 4 starts in September. Check this out. He's 2-0 and pitching to a 1.38 ERA. Tonight, the Yankees begin a 3-game weekend set, their last home series of the season against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Our coverage begins with the batting practice show at 6, followed by the pregame, and first pitch comes your way a little after 7. It's the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. Tonight, coverage starting at 6, right here on Yes, and streaming, of course, on the Yes app.
For full contest rules, go to ESPNNewYork.com. I don't know if you guys saw this, and it's kind of a cheap shot, but that's what we do. The Oakland A's seem to do everything wrong. So Miguel Cabrera made his final appearance in the Oakland Coliseum, whatever they're calling it this year, and they
Ricky
presented
Henderson
him.
Field or something?
That's the field. I don't know. I think O.co could be the stadium.
Oh my God.
They presented Miguel Cabrera with a bottle of wine, as you know, last time he was going to be there.
Now that could be expensive, right, Peter? Wine.
Well, the wine is, I believe I think it was Camus, and it's a $90 bottle of wine. Oh my God! But that's not even a story, Peter. You know the story?
No, that's all I knew was that it was a $90 bottle of wine.
It gets worse. Okay. Cabrera's a recovering alcoholic.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Yeah.
So cheap and didn't do their homework.
Yeah, you got to do your homework.
That's called they sent someone to the store 10 minutes before.
Or on your show in the morning, it would be you played yourself.
Yeah, that's vintage.
That's vintage. Played yourself. Remember we went for that bourbon tasting way back, Michael. Remember Buttle was there, Tim McCarthy. Remember that?
What kind of tasting was it?
Bourbon, like a whiskey tasting.
Oh yeah.
And it was done by the the red label. Was it
Johnny Walker? Mm-hmm.
And I decided, it was around Christmas time that year. I'll get Buttle a nice bottle of whiskey. And I think the most you can spend a lot of money on whiskey. And I think the Johnny Walker Black was like
Blue might even be more, yeah.
Whatever, because blue, but it was whatever was $250.
Okay.
I got for Greg for Christmas. He got me a MyPillow. But that's fine. It's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah,
so if 15 well, it depends. If you're 15 years ago, Don LaGreca bought his buddy Greg Buttle a bottle of whiskey for $250.
Right.
Fast forward 15 years later, even though they're cheap and they're going to move and everything, a professional organization pays $90 for a bottle of wine for a Hall of Famer, and then you find out he's a recovering alcoholic. Oh my God!
It's not what you want.
Tack on 107 wins so far, 107 losses so far this season.
We suck.
More than that. What's worse than sucking?
Yeah, that is really not a good effort.
So
right
what
there.
happened? Like I saw the pictures.
I've done something like that myself, and it's awful. A good friend of mine, I loved his dad, and for Christmas I brought a bottle of whiskey to his dad, and the dad was very gracious. Thank you so much. And then the next day he called me. He goes, my dad is an alcoholic. I lost sleep for months.
But you didn't know. How would you know?
I didn't know. But they should know.
They should know.
You know what, though? In the case of you, I mean, this is different because it's public and all of those things. In a private situation, though, I feel like you almost just say thank you for the wine, whatever it is, and put it down.
Maybe. I mean, but that's what the dad did.
Right, he did that, but his son made you feel bad.
No, but that was not the purpose. It was just to illuminate me that.
Just so you know.
Right, just so you know. Right. But my dad was very appreciative.
And you may disagree. I still think the fact that the wine was $90 is worse.
But, I mean, that's a nice bottle of wine.
Right.
Camus is a nice bottle of wine.
No, it's a nice bottle of wine.
No. If you invited me to dinner, it's a really nice bottle of wine.
Yeah.
But for a retirement gift.
Yeah, it's not
from a team worth
you give him that. You send it to his house. Like, you don't sit there at home plate and take a picture. You're not proud of this.
That's the thing. That's such a great way to put it. You can't. It's a nice gift for a regular person to give a person, but for something where you're taking pictures and posing with it,
really doing nothing might have been better.
Yeah, shaking the guy's hand,
right?
Because
how's the back and belly?
You gotta come with at least on at their level. They own a baseball team. You're talking about you got to come with like what, $1,000 bottle of champagne or something. It's got to be something really over the top, even for alcohol.
Yeah, you're right. One quick alcohol bit of news, Don. This is breaking news, and I think you're going to be proud of me, Peter too. So I was out to dinner with my Yes friends on the last road trip, and one of the guys, it was my producer Troy Benjamin, asked me to try. They said, "You'll love this drink." And I fell in love with the old fashioned.
Oh, it's life changing, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. But it tastes very sugary though, and I don't think that would be good for my blood sugar. But
how many do you plan to have?
Oh, I don't know. I plan to get blind drunk.
And also, they're all very different. Some are very sweet, some are not so sweet. Just depends on who makes them.
I like the sweet taste.
Don, he never took your advice to try one, but at Troy Benjamin, so many respects.
Because Troy's never steered me wrong.
I mean, he's a great guy. I'm not denying that.
I need at least 2 examples of where I steered you wrong.
All right, we'll get it when we come back. Hey, this is Michael K. here to tell you about my favorite.
When's the last time you woke up and felt good? Like really good. As good as, well, this guy. Oura Ring helps you get enough sleep and enough steps. It also helps you manage your stress so you can see what your body really needs. Your body has a voice. It's time to start listening.
I needed something in the shop, comfortable.
I wear Brunt boots, as you see, got them on my feet right now. Keeps you warm, it keeps you dry, triple layered comfort.
Comfortable in the morning, comfortable in the afternoon. These feel like kind of like sneakers.
They're waterproof, durable. Been wearing them for over a year now. They're absolutely amazing.
This is the only shoe I wear in here now.
Brown boots are cool.
Wearing Brunt boots, my feet, my back, and my legs don't hurt at the end of the day.
Go online and try any of our gear on the job for 30 days, risk-free.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You can try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
With ButcherBox, we deliver grass-fed beef, organic, free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Join and get free ground pork and drumsticks for 3 months.
Meet Away's iconic suitcases, redesigned. With even more traveler-friendly features. In new colors, inspired by the world. Designed to stand out, blend in, and look good everywhere you go. More color, more luggage, more travel. Away. Shop at awaytravel.com.
There's an easier way. With Thumbtack. Download the app today and care for your home from top to bottom.
So Caramel Swirl is always there for the taking.
Dupixent helps you do more with less asthma and can help you breathe better in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent is an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that's not for sudden breathing problems. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Ask your specialist about Dupixent.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X is equipped to conquer the great outdoors. Or the great indoors. Welcome to the peak of premium off-roading. Or get 0.9% APR and no monthly payments until 2024. Plus, get over 3,200 total trade assistance on 2023 Sierra Denali 5.3-liter V8 light-duty models.
Seem disturbing, but not that big.
No, it's not disturbing. It's just so. Why would somebody be chopping a tree down in Manhattan?
Trees have to be cut down sometimes.
But not by an axe-wielding wacko.
Usually not.
All right, so we got the Jets and we've got the Patriots. The Giants did what we thought the Giants were going to do. Peter got the 3-point pick. All kudos to him. He's amazing. He's good-looking. He's everything you want him to be.
You know, it's not that. I'm just a man. You know, I'm just a guy who
you had a belief, and you swung it around.
And it wasn't just that, because you both knew. You both knew what was happening.
That pick had a handle on it. You just go up, you pick it up with the handle, you walk away. That was easy 3 points.
Three.
But I didn't do it. I took myself out.
It wasn't totally easy. All they have to do is score a touchdown and get a 2-point conversion. He's crying in his soup.
Well, they couldn't do it the whole game.
So, right. Right.
A touchdown and a
But
two-point
that's
conversion
what
was heavy
Vegas
lifting.
does to you. And that's why I'm still convinced that's why people watch football games from the beginning to end because of betting. Because the game's always alive, even when it's not alive. So at 30-12, the Giants have no chance to
wait a
win.
minute.
I bet you they didn't lose any audience because the line was still in
But
play.
don't make it seem like, Michael, like that's why the sport is popular.
No, I think it's one of the reasons.
But that got blown up by the fact that people could bet on anything, right? They bet on everything now. You've got your app. I could sit there and take a meaningless baseball game and watch it and bet what the next pitch is going to be or what the next batter is going to do. And it's still only done in relation to how popular that sport happens to be. Like, people bet football, but it comes from a place of liking the sport to begin with, thinking they know the sport. You know, but now you can bet on anything. Well, all sports. I watch a hockey game, Michael, and they're putting odds on who's going to win the next face-off. So you can bet on anything, but the only ones that work are the sports that are already popular.
And football's popular.
Yeah.
I just think it takes it to a new level. Now, speaking of betting, now we make our picks at 5:45. If you, I'm not touching Jets and the Patriots. I'm not. If I was, I think I would take the Patriots. I just don't believe until the Jets make me believe I'm not going to. I'm not going to be felled by them, and I continue to be seduced by the fact that Bill Belichick's still Belichick. But is he still Bill Belichick without Tom Brady? How are you looking at this game, Don?
I'm looking at this game the way I looked at the chances the Jets had of making the playoffs after Rodgers went down. And I was bullish on it because I just think that they're an exceptionally talented team. And it's one of those rare teams where I don't have to ask a lot of my quarterback to win games. If I have that opinion, then shouldn't I be bullish on the Jets this week? If you're not beating the Patriots at home, then how are you making the playoffs? And that's not to disrespect the Patriots, but playoff teams win divisional games in their building. You know, playoff teams take advantage of 0-2 teams walking into their building. Now, I know the Patriots are pretty good and probably better than their 0-2 record. And Belichick's great, and can you wrap your mind around them being 0-3? And they were competitive against Philadelphia, and they were competitive against Miami. But this Jet team has a great defense that should be able to turn Jones over, and an offense that shouldn't be asked to do a lot against the Patriot team. They're not going to go and score north of 20 points against the Jets defense, you wouldn't think. So if I were to touch it, I would pick the Jets.
Are you going to touch it?
Well, you'll have to wait 5:45 to find out.
How are you feeling about this game, Peter?
I don't lean towards touching it. However, if I did, it would be the opposite direction.
Of who? We both.
The way I'm leaning. Patriots.
I'm sorry. The opposite of what Don just said. Sorry. Yeah.
Now, Mac Jones, 4-0 career against the Jets. Zach Wilson has looked silly against the Patriots. And you also have to weigh in the fact the Patriots 0-3. I mean, their season essentially would be over. They'd be 0-2 in their division. The Jets would be in great shape. If the Jets win this game, they're in great shape. They're 2-0 in their division.
Yeah. It's. I know it's only week 3, but this is the power of the NFL, Michael. That you can have the third game of your season be this big. You just outlined it. Jets win this game, they'd be 2-1, 2-0 in the division, and the arch rival New England Patriots would be 0-3. Jets lose this game, they're 1-2. Another loss against New England, and you've given life back to Bill Belichick and the Patriots and probably threw them into the hopper as a team that might be able to compete for a wild card. It is a huge game.
And then you also, if the Jets lose, I think we've said this all week, and we will repeat it, if you're not beating an average New England team, and that's what we'll give them as average, well, who are you beating?
Yeah.
If you're not beating an average team at home, who are you beating?
And it's the same philosophy I have with the Giants going up against the Seahawks next Monday. You're going to have to win some tough games. I mean, you just can't, we'll just beat the lousy teams and think you're going to be able to get in. If you think the Jets are still a player and they can win 9 or more games, then that means you're going to have to win some tough games. But again, is it that you got to win home games against divisional opponents, against the Patriots? When are you going to end this streak? Tom Brady isn't the quarterback anymore, This isn't a juggernaut team. This is a nice Patriot team that probably is in the same tier as the Jets. Now, Belichick elevates them, but to what? Then he's not going to elevate them to 14 wins this year. Probably not going to elevate them to 10.
And the weather is supposed to be brutal. And I've thought about it a lot because I've batted this game around in my head. I don't know who that favors. I'm not sure who it favors. Maybe it favors the Jets because they have a good running game. But I don't think anybody's going to throw. But Mac Jones is going to beat you by throwing anyway. And unless Zach Wilson, this is my personal opinion on the Jets offense, unless Zach Wilson can threaten a defense with the deep ball, they're going to put 8 in the box, and they're just going to stop the run. I don't care how great your running back is. If you've got 8 defenders in the box, how you running? How you running?
Well,
he's got to open up the defense. Right. He's got to make them honest.
So if I can get Garrett Wilson one-on-one, I'm gonna succeed more times than not. So if I'm putting 8 men in the box, Michael, that means that you've only got 3 on the outside covering my receivers, and that means I'm going to get
right. He's daring them.
So do it. I mean, I would think that even you saw that touchdown against Buffalo. It wasn't an exceptional pass by Zach Wilson. He just threw it in the area, and one of the best wide receivers in the game were able to gobble it up. That's how you win games in this league. Get those matchups. Now, you got to run productively because eventually they won't put 8 men in the box if you can't run. But if you start slipping, just putting more guys to double team those receivers, then there will be lanes for this team to be able to run. So that's why I'd like them to open it up a little bit more. I know they want to get conservative. The kid's going to make mistakes, but learn from what happened in that Buffalo game. He made some big plays on 3rd down. He threw the touchdown pass just kind of up for grabs, and Wilson was able to steal it away. That's what you got to try to go out there and do. You could draw some penalties. That's what the 49ers did. 49ers converted some of those 3rd and longs on defensive holds and pass interference. That's how you take advantage in this league. So you're not a game manager like Jeff Hostetler 30 years ago. It means you're going to have to throw a little bit more. Kid's got a gun for an arm. And if you get Garrett Wilson one-on-one with a corner, stretch the field, throw it up. Yeah, he might get picked off. But, yeah, there might be a defensive penalty. There might be a big grab by the kid. That's how I want to see them go and attack this.
There has to be a step up by the defense, too. And I understand that Dallas is a really good team and their offense is humming. You got to play better than you did. I'm sorry. You have to play better than you did. You can't allow Mac Jones to put up 21 points. The way the Jets win, you hold the Patriots to 2 touchdowns.
And turn them over.
And turn
them over, because that's also a real key to being a great defense. And that's what they did against Buffalo. They were +3 in the turnover area, right? Because if the Bills don't turn the ball over, the Jets don't win that game. Can we agree on that?
Yep.
They won the turnover battle +3, and they had to win the game in overtime. So they got to go out and get turnovers. Get in this kid's face. Believe me, Mac Jones was not winning those games. He's 4-0 against the Jets. I don't remember. I could be proven wrong. I have to go back. That was Mac Jones that won those games. It was the Jets making
the game
mistakes.
With the kickoff in overtime, that wasn't Mac Jones. He was awful.
Right. And you've got to go out there and you've got to, like I said, get the turnovers and just don't make any big-time mistakes. You should be able to do that.
Now, it's time for our Aaron Rodgers weekly report because he spoke with Pat McAfee today.
Oh, he did? On a Friday.
Yeah. And he was asked, how's the rehab going? Here's Aaron.
I'm actually in rehab right now. Just getting after the rehab this week. It's been tough. Every single day is tough. Not to be with the guys, even when they check in or hear from coaches, whatever. It's great, but it's also, disappointing not to be out there. But I'm just grinding on the rehab in here and looking forward to getting back out to Jersey at some point.
He is saying that he's seeing progress.
I usually like to be the one taking care of people, so this is the time for me to just kind of sit and receive and, and try and find some joy in the process. It's tough, though. It's tough. It's not easy, but there's been some progressions with the rehab last couple of days, so that kind of gets the hope meter kind of trending upwards a little bit, the joy meter trending up a little bit.
My joy meter never trends up. It's sad.
Do you
How about
have
yours,
a joy
Peter?
meter?
You know what? I think my joy meter is broken.
Well, they got bills for that.
I don't think. Yeah.
Because I should be more joyous, and I'm not.
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know. I certainly need help, which I don't want to get. So I'm not as joyful as I should be. With all the blessings I have in my life, I should be joyful.
Why wouldn't you get help?
What is that?
I don't want to.
That's the part, Don. That's where I'm lost. You know that your life is great. You know you have every reason to be filled with joy. You're not. And yet you're not interested in changing it either.
Because I know why I'm not joyful. And no one and no drug can change that.
Because you're going to die?
Right. Nobody can tell me, oh, don't worry, Michael, you won't die. It all seems so fruitless.
But that's stupid. You enjoy movies, don't you?
I know it's stupid.
You sit down, you'll go to you went and saw Hamilton, right? Did you enjoy it?
No, I didn't really enjoy it as much as other people.
All right, bad example.
Bad example.
But you sit down. What's your favorite movie?
Animal House.
All right, you sat down, watched Animal House many times, right? Enjoy it thoroughly, knowing
I did.
that in an hour and 40 minutes it's going to be over. But yet you still enjoy it, still laugh.
And Blutarski was going to be a senator.
And that made you laugh. And the 0.0.
That's different. It's different. Let's not get into my head. Anyway, Aaron Rodgers, he was asked what are his goals in rehab.
There's definitely some goals. The first goal was to get out of the cast. Second goal to get out of the boot, which would coincide with walking, and then walking leads to movement, faster movement, and then ultimately some sort of running at some point. But yeah, we're trying to get out of the boot is kind of the next goal. So when I feel the strength to be able to stand up on my own, and then that's involved with walking, then the boot comes off, and then it kind of gets exciting. Then you feel like you're not just a big turd laying around, everybody taking care of you. So that'll be nice.
All right, finally, he was asked, are all accounts of your surgery accurate?
I'm about to drop a bombshell here. Not everything that you see on TV or read and wherever you get your news is 100% accurate. Now, I will say some of the things that reported about the type of surgery I got was factual. Some of the stuff was not entirely factual. Dr. Elitros did my surgery. There's some validity to how they describe the surgery. However, these type of injuries can take, a lot of time. It can be 6, 8 to 12 months. There's been a few guys who've come back at 4.5. I think Cam Akers came back at like 4.5, a couple guys at 5 months. So I don't want to get caught into a timeline. I just want to get healthy, honestly, mentally and physically, honestly. But I'm going to do everything I can rehab-wise to put myself in a position to be ready to play football again at some point. And that's the goal. I mean, there's obviously when this happened, there's a lot of thoughts about like, is that it? Cash it in, you're done? I just don't feel like I am. So I'm going to put myself in a position to be able to play again and then see when that is.
Guys, knowing me as long as you do, I root for chaos. So either I'm rooting for Zach Wilson to find his mojo and get the Jets to the Super Bowl, or the quarterback that they trade for, he gets his mojo, gets the Jets to the Super Bowl, and then I want Aaron Rodgers to be ready to play in the Super Bowl, and I want to see if anybody has any kind of sack and has him play rather than the quarterback that took the team there. That's what I'm rooting for.
Yeah, we know, Michael, because you're a bad guy.
How am I a bad guy? That would be fascinating. The human condition would be examined. What would you do? What would you do, Peter, if you were the Jets? A quarterback takes you to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers said, I'm good to go. What would you do? And Aaron Rodgers, by the way, as much as we love him, has lost a lot of big games in his career.
We saw it happen. Go ahead, Peter. I'm sorry. My apologies.
The quarterback takes you to the Super Bowl with what kind of play? Passenger play or leadership play?
Like right in the middle. It wasn't him.
Then I take Rodgers and give it a shot.
Wow. Because it happened in this city.
Yeah.
Jeff Hostetler
was Phil ready to play in the Super Bowl?
Was not ready to play in the Super Bowl.
Well.
But in a similar fashion, he was ready to play opening day the next year, and they decided to give the job back to Jeff. And it was a mistake.
Well, it's happened in the Super Bowl era too, didn't with Earl Morrall and Johnny Unitas.
Oh, Earl Morrall and Greasy too, right? Was Greasy ready to come back?
I don't think Greasy was ready, but Johnny Unitas did play.
Well, he came in Super Bowl III, right? Late.
Yes.
After he tried to come. Now, obviously, the Hostetler Sims, it was the next year. Ray Hanley decided, well, Hostetler won a Super Bowl. I'm going to make him the starting quarterback. And then eventually Phil took back over. So that ended up being a mistake. Peter's right. If you're winning in spite of him, which is the only way it's going to happen, then you easily go back to Rodgers. If he's okay, not great, he won some game, I really don't see a scenario where you don't have Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback.
Without any game play other than those 4 plays this year.
But he's played in a Super Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. He's a better quarterback than Zach.
Mm-hmm.
And all these coaches ever say is, who gives me the best chance to win? And is there any kind of scenario that you think something can happen between now and February where Zach Wilson would give the Jets a better chance to beat the 49ers, Cowboys, Eagles, Lions than Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, there is. Well, there is a scenario if he suddenly finds it. Now, if he's a little bit better than just game manager, but game managers are very valuable.
And are you willing to insult Rodgers to the point where he just might be done with you and not want to play for you again?
Yeah, but you know what? If Zach Wilson took you to the Super Bowl, you're picking him as a fifth-year option anyway,
right.
So maybe you got your quarterback.
But think
then.
about it. So he plays against the 49ers in the Super Bowl. They get waxed 35-0. And Rodgers is like, well, you know what? I could have won that game. I can't believe he did that to me. I'm going to retire. I'm done with you. I'm not playing for the Jets anymore. And Zach's chariot turns back into a pumpkin, and he ends up being just an ordinary quarterback again. You're going to kick yourself.
But there's a caveat there. He's 40 years old. He's not going to play for that much longer.
He could play another couple of years after not playing this year.
Right. Did you also see the story that the Jets contacted Chad Henne, and he turned him down?
Chad Henne.
Mm-hmm. He's coaching a high school team, and he said, it's not like I turned down the offer. I don't want to put my body through that.
I guess the last game, he came into one of the playoff games, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He came in for Kansas City in the playoffs last year. In the Jacksonville game?
So
that was relatively close. He came in and did what needed to be done. I can't believe, though, guys, that Chad Henne is the only person of that ilk that they could get a hold of.
We don't know.
Well,
who they've contacted.
Right, so why would he turn them down? He's perfectly happy coaching high school. He doesn't want to play.
No, he just said I don't want to put my body through that anymore.
All right, so that's the answer then. It's not anything against the Jets or the situation. It's just that. So they are clearly looking for someone that's not going to challenge Zach. Because I wouldn't bet that Chad Henne would take the job away from Zach. He's a career backup who hadn't played really outside of that series in the playoffs, how much at all. They don't plan on getting anybody that's going to take this job away from Zach. So how much more do you need convincing that they don't plan on having anybody be their quarterback but Zach?
But here's the deal. I think they need a legitimate backup quarterback, which is what Henne would be. But maybe they're also searching for somebody who's good enough to take the job from Zach.
And maybe, Michael, is it possible that anybody that wants the job is going to be like, you're telling me that I can't take the job from him? That if I play well, that Zach's still going to be the quarterback? I'm going to be backing up Zach Wilson? No, thank you.
Peter, who's splashing around in your bathtub these days?
It's a great question.
When's the last time you woke up and felt good? Like really good. As good as, well, this guy. Oura Ring helps you get enough sleep and enough steps. It also helps you manage your stress so you can see what your body really needs. Your body has a voice. It's time to start listening.
If we weren't proud of the craftsmanship and level of detail that go into every pair of Warby Parker glasses, well, we probably wouldn't show you how they're made, including this part, which is our favorite. Wow. And this is also great. Each pair comes standard with lenses that are scratch-resistant, anti-reflective, and UV protective. Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
5, 4, 3.
There's an easier way. From little fixes to big projects, taking care of your home is easy with Thumbtack. Download the Thumbtack app and start caring for your home today.
It's so important not to be frightened of those mistakes.
Instead of E. Masterclass. Is there anybody else like you? No. Do you know anybody else like you? Nope. You got this.
Masterclass. $10 a month.
When you learn from the best, you become your best with thousands of online lessons. Now just $10 a month.
Now he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, of every day being in that hospital, the knowledge that has been accumulated and shared with everyone else around the world. You know, this is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here, make a statement while barely making a sound, and command the road as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters. Get exceptional offers at your local Audi dealer.
Meet Terry. He loves turf and works at a nursery. Payday comes early with Citizens, so he can enter tomorrow's contest. Gets noticed. Launches his own turf biz. Business grows. His savings grow with Citizens Plus. And Terry becomes the most celebrated name in turf.
Hey, look, it's the turf guy.
Are you ready for all that life brings?
What can you get for 10 cents? How about a pocket full of cash to spend on a tropical vacation, sports car, you name it? Because with jackpots on DraftKings Casino, you could turn 10 cents into tens of thousands, even over $1 million, on roulette, slots, blackjack, baccarat, and more. Jackpot winnings are at 10 million and counting this year, and the next could hit any second. So score the latest jackpots offer when you get the #1 most downloaded online casino app. DraftKings Casino. Go where the jackpots grow.
For 46 years straight, more of you have trusted Ford F-Series trucks to help save the day. Stretch the weekend, haul, or tow just about anything, anywhere. That's because they're built Ford tough. And it's why Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 46 years straight. And for that, we thank you. Right now, returning lessees can get a Ford F-150 for $289 a month for 24 months. View more offers at buyfordnow.com.
At the Community Food Bank of New Jersey.
We are working.
Now, more than ever.
To fill the emptiness caused by hunger.
We are the state's largest anti-hunger organization.
And together with our 800-plus community partners,
we are committed to delivering food,
help,
and hope
to our hundreds and thousands of neighbors in need.
Join us today.
We got jet tickets to give away shortly. I've got a $1 bet for Don and Peter.
Okay.
The starter for the you get one try. The starter for the Diamondbacks against the Yankees tonight is Brandon. This is his last name, Pfaadt. If you can pronounce it correctly, your first shot, you get $1.
PF what?
Pfaadt.
Fat it.
You do not get $1.
Damn.
Fade it.
Nope.
What is it?
Did Don give his answer?
Yeah, I said fade it.
He said.
Oh, it's fought.
Nope.
That's why I was so generous in giving it away. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Colin out in Poughkeepsie. Colin.
Hey, hi, Colin.
Hi, Colin.
Hey,
Colin, hi.
Hi, Michael, Don, and Peter. You can hear me?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Great. Okay, thanks for taking me on. I love the show.
Thanks.
I have a small point of criticism for Don, and it's about usage. Normally, I wouldn't make this kind of criticism, but the verbal gymnastics that go on the show is part of the appeal. Don, you've been confusing two English expressions.
Uh-oh.
One is fall on your sword, to commit suicide. The other is die on that hill, like to foolishly overcommit to an idea at one's own expense. And you've been saying, I'm not going to die on that sword.
Right.
Oh, no.
And when you mash them up like that, you kind of lose a little bit of both.
Yeah, does it bother you that I don't care and I'm going to continue to use it?
Oh, wow. Why would you be nasty?
I'm not being nasty. I said, would you mind? That's not being nasty. That's actually being very polite. Would you mind if I continued to use it? Because I'm not going to change it. I don't care.
Yeah, but
I'm trying to get I've taken ownership of that. I've now made it something.
Well, hold on. You can't say you're trying to get a message across if you're getting the message across
I think
incorrectly.
everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. If I say, I'm going to die on that sword, you'd say, you know what? Don's willing to go to the mat on that particular opinion.
Yeah, but no, that's right. Fall on the sword is what you want. Die on the hill. You can't
I want to die on
a
the sword.
That's just not a thing.
Well, I made it a thing. It's my thing. It's my language, my words. I don't know the history of things. I'm a big boy.
I don't know the history of things is a wild statement.
Why is it that wild? I don't like dying on that hill. It's not my thing. I don't like falling on swords. I like dying on swords, and that's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to die on this sword, on this subject.
On the hill.
This is among the all-time most stubborn things you've ever done on the show.
You know what he's going to say soon, Peter. I do it again. And he sounds like he will.
I don't have to say that because I already did. I'm going to continue to use it. But I was not rude to the individual.
Would you, in fact, fall, die on the sword while you're on a hill? Put them all together.
Let me ask you this. When you fall on the sword, what are you doing?
You're dying.
Exactly. So why do I have to say fall on the sword? Why do I have to be so dramatic? Die on the sword.
All right. So
what
tough
hill?
question,
I'm not fighting nobody. I'm not in some war. I'm not running around like that scene in 1917. I got no hill on my cul-de-sac.
Second time he's brought up that movie in the week.
That's right, because it's all I got right now.
So question for you. If you were to hear the kids at a young age start to use a phrase that you absolutely knew it was wrong, and there was a chance that they'd say it in front of people and people would look at them funny like, that's not how you say that, would you correct them or say, just go ahead and do it wrong?
No, I'd correct them. Because you know what?
So that's what Colin did.
But if I had
that's what he's doing for you.
If I had to call my son's show to do it, no, I wouldn't. I'd say it's working for him. Keep doing it. But as a father who actually has a responsibility to guide my children in the right direction, I don't have a problem with correcting Marco or Jalen if they make some mistake. Somebody from afar calls into my show that I've been doing for more than 20 years. You know what? I'm good. I'm going to continue doing it. Matter of fact,
I think this is the wrong thing to die on your sword.
No, you know what, Michael? You never corrected me. You would have been more in place to do so. But you never did. You didn't care. You didn't even know I did it.
You know what it is? I'm exhausted doing it.
Because that's not a grammar thing. That's not even really. I wouldn't even apply that to intelligence. It's just that's the way I say something. Well, what's the difference? Who the first person that said die on that hill? Why does that have traction? Why can't this gain traction? Why can't this be something 50 years from now?
But then what's the point of any sort of colloquialism or phrase
is to
that
get a
people
point
use?
across. And has there ever been any human breathing person that has listened to this show that did not get my point when I said I'll die on that sword? I wonder what he meant. I wonder if Don really wants to go to the mat on this. I wonder if he's willing to die on that hill. I wonder if he's willing to fall on that sword. I don't know. No, they said,
But
I
fall
know
on the sword and
exactly
die
what he's
on the
talking
hill.
about. I'm with him 100%. All
enough.
language is communicating a point. I think everybody got the point.
Not Colin in Poughkeepsie.
No, Colin got it.
He got it. He was trying to help out.
And I'm good.
But he's good.
Let's go to Tristan in Rahway. Tristan.
Don, I back you up 100%.
Thank you.
You're good.
You guys will die together on that sword.
There it is. Two quick things. I mean, I'm kind of biased on this one because I'm a Niners fan, but, I mean, how did you feel about Dable? I know they say you should never lose a game with timeouts in your back pocket, but how did you feel about him using those timeouts at the end, and then right after that, just, like, throwing in Tyrod Taylor? And then the second question is, how did you guys feel about Al Michaels' performance? I felt he was a little kind of awkward bringing up Dable's kids. He brought it up like 4 times.
It was odd. It was a rough showing for Al.
Why? Why do you say
Again,
that?
I didn't feel there was a ton of energy, and I'm not even going to get mad that he got the 49ers Super Bowls wrong. That whole got a whole but went viral because they won 5. He said Walsh won 2, and Seifert won 2. Walsh won 3. I'm not even going to get into that. But yeah, he kept bringing it up about how Salah's got 7 kids and Dable's got 6. All right, you bring it up one, but he kept bringing it up, and here's another problem with that broadcast, and I think it's because it's on the app. There was a few times I guess they don't go to commercial as much, and there's injuries.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And they don't show you the injury, and they just show Herb Street and Al Michael, and they're kind of just talking extemporaneously, and it didn't feel like Al was prepared to do that. Peter, am I being fair or no?
Listen, I think you're being fair. Michael's the one who's going to start getting upset if you say anything critical.
That's right. Let's go to Peter in New Jersey. Peter.
Hey, Mike. How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good to talk to you. Good. So, Mike, I was listening to you, and you seem, a little, like, sad or down a little bit. But I have something for you.
Tell me.
You have so much in your life left. You have 2 beautiful kids. You're going to watch them grow up, do beautiful things, and that's going to be so great to see. I have 2 boys, and I'm watching them grow. My older son just got his first full-time job. My other son's serving in the Navy in Japan. And, sometimes I get sad, but I think about them, and it makes me happy, It's all worth it.
But Peter, the joy that they bring me, right, and the joy that my marriage brings me, makes me even sadder. Because one day it's going to end.
It's so weird. Everything ends, Michael. The movie ends. The song ends. The meal ends.
The caller, what the caller did just then was really nice, Don. But it was like saying to a baby, "Don't be scared that the door is closed. Your mom's in the next room." It was being logical with someone who has zero logic. Michael obviously has thought of the fact that he should be happy about the fact that he has 2 children and how wonderful that is.
And I am.
Yeah, but the simple things that make many people are enough for many people, it doesn't do the job for you because you're so overwhelmed by this fear of dying.
Yep. Maybe I can go with you to your therapist or one of them. Just sit there with you. I'll pay half the bill just to listen to see how it goes.
No, you should go on your own.
No, it wouldn't. The therapy wouldn't work because he wouldn't pay attention because all he'd be thinking about is the fact
it's death,
or that eventually the session's going to end.
I actually don't want to hear you ever complain about being sad again.
Okay, I won't.
If one is unwilling to do anything about it, I have no time for it.
Wait a second.
No time.
I am not sad. I'm just not joyful.
You're not sad. You're just not joyful.
But the fact that you don't want to do anything about it tells me that maybe you enjoy being not joyful.
Oh, you saying he's in love with his sadness?
No, I'm not. The fact that I don't have joy makes me even less joyful.
No, that's unfortunate.
Hey, but this is going to make people happy. Here's your chance to score a pair of tickets to the divisional matchup between the Jets and the Patriots this Sunday, plus VIP passes to the ESPN New York Ultimate Jets tailgate in Lot G11 before the game. Give me a number, Don, a high number. Give me one.
A high number?
Yeah.
99, baby.
Just be caller number 99, baby, right now at 888-987-ESPN to win. Brought to you by the New York Jets. Be at MetLife Stadium for the biggest matchups of the season when the Jets take on the Patriots, Chiefs, Eagles, Chargers, and more. Lock in your seats at nyjets.com/tickets. You know what's coming up next, right? Our picks.
Oh, yeah, I got them.
I have a half a point in 2 weeks. Let's see if I can continue to be joyless. Anyway, Don, why don't you tell us, first introduce yourself.
You've heard our story before. In some ways, it's yours. It's the one about rolled up sleeves, measuring twice, cutting once, and building something you're proud to put your name behind. What are we building? A different kind of workwear, inspired by the values of those who put in the work. They're the reason we make boots that feel as good at 6 p.m. as they did at 6 a.m. They're the best you've ever worked in, or we'll take them back. Brunt, the tools you wear. Try us on the job for 30 days risk-free.
With ButcherBox, we deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Join and get free ground pork and drumsticks for 3 months.
You've got big goals? We've got new ways to reach them. New ways to make that cheddar, bacon, bread, dough, cabbage.
Cabbage?
Because right now, people are ordering all those things on DoorDash, the top platform with the most opportunities and the best tools to help you reach your goals. Pick up, drop off, cash out, Dash now. Sign up at DoorDash.com/goals.
You done yet? It's 2 a.m. Why are you still scrolling through videos? You're not paying me overtime here. If you really want to see something new, why not change those shades that have been broken for the past 2 years? Let's tap the Thumbtack app, and in a matter of seconds, we'll find a pro to install new shades.
Okay.
With Thumbtack, you can easily find top-rated professionals for every home project.
Thumbtack, the easy way to care for your home.
Markets, Balducci's, and King's Foundations.
This guy again.
Pops. Hey, son, you got a little something on your face.
Needed a quick shave.
Quick shave? Respect the process.
It ain't my dad's razor, Dad. It's from Gillette Labs.
Gillette Labs?
Gillette's ultimate shaving experience. This green bar releases trapped hairs from my face.
Game changer.
While the Flex Disc contours to it.
Looking smooth.
Feeling even smoother.
How about hooking me up with some Gillette Labs?
Check your text.
You're the best.
Nah, you're the best.
The best a man can get keeps getting better.
The next generation of shaving is Gillette Labs.
Mara, are you sure you don't want to go bowling with us tonight?
Yeah, no.
There's my little marzipan. Oh, my daughter gives the best hugs.
We're just passing through on our way to the Jazz Jamboree. And we wanted to thank America's #1 motorcycle insurer for saving us money.
Mara, your parents are
Exactly like me. I know, right?
Well, cherish your friends and loved ones.
Let's roll, Daddy-O.
Let's boogie woogie.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. That's why we give our new customers $365 in bonus bets when you bet just $1. And that's not all. We power up the odds on hundreds of bets across Bet Boost, Profit Boost, and Super Boost. Get your $365 in bonus bets and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Lately, we've all had to do more with less. At Chevy, we just want you to do more. So we continue to make affordable vehicles like high-tech SUVs, our strongest, most capable trucks, and the most affordable EV in America. It's how Chevy helps you do more for less. Qualified lessees with a current eligible lease can get this 2023 Equinox for $269 a month. See your local Chevy dealer.
When a child is sick, there's one thing they need: a really big cookie.
Welcome to RMHC.
And parents of sick children have tons of decisions to make. Like movie night, game night, or should we finish that book tonight? We don't perform surgeries, just talent shows. We're not big on poking sticks and beeping machines, but we're the best at playing dress up. Well, we have a few beeping machines. We think the tooth fairy should travel everywhere. And while hospitals have doctors and nurses, we have mom and dad. We don't provide treatment, but we do provide dogs. And we throw some really good parties. Because at Ronald McDonald House Charities, we help families feel at home, even when they can't be.
Pick'em Pro Picks.
Three. Well, here's where we stand right now. Peter nailed a three-pointer yesterday. But coming into the three-pointer, Don had the lead 6 points to 4. I have a half a point. So it's not good for me. I'm 0-5-1. Don 3-2-1. And with Peter's win yesterday, he's 4-3. So he's moved into the lead with 7. But Don had the better week last week. So, Don, you go first.
All right, I'm going to go. I'm going to touch it. Nobody else wanted to touch it. I will. I will be there at MetLife Stadium for our big tailgate for the station at 10. And then into the building with Marco, Jets and the Patriots. And I'm going to make the Jets my 1 point play. I'm getting the 2.5.
Wow.
I'm getting 2.5 points. This got to end at some point, guys. Just has to. And I think the Jets are just a more talented team. Patriots come limping in. And I think people don't want to do this. And really, I don't think it has anything to do with Zach. It has more to do with, you can't beat Bill, and there's no way that the Jets are going to be able to find a way, and there's no way the Patriots are going to be 0-3. I think all those things are in play because I just think this is an ordinary Patriots team. Listen, I'm not overly confident because it's only my 1 point play, but I will go with the Jets covering the 2.5 as my 1 point play. My 2 point play, the Chiefs and the Bears. Fields is 8-18-1 guys against the spread. Not good. 0-3 against the spread when he's a double-digit dog. Also not good. And I've said this to Peter many, many times. I enjoy watching, even though it hasn't been a great season so far for Mahomes, I like rooting for Mahomes to score touchdowns because all likelihood he probably will. I think the Chiefs will cover the 12.5 at home against the lowly Bears, who had a really, really tough week. I'll make it my 2 point play. And my 3 point play, as much as it pains me to say, guys, Cowboys are good. Now, maybe the Cardinals aren't as bad as everybody made them out to be to start the season. They were tanking. They cut Colt McCoy because he might win games. But they're 0-2, and they've hung in both games. Hang it against the Cowboys. And you know that building is going to be filled. You thought there were Giant fans in Arizona. I don't even know there's going to be any red in the stands at all. To be all Cowboy fans, they'll easily cover the 12.5. This will be the game in which Arizona looks like the team that's tanking. I like the Dallas Cowboys to easily cover the 12.5 as my 3 point play. So I'll take the Jets for 1 point, getting 2.5. I will take the Chiefs favored by 12.5 at home against the Bears. My 2-point play. And the boys also giving 12.5 my 3-point play. And those are my 3 selections.
Before we go to Peter, Don, have you texted Aaron Boone yet?
Oh, you know what? I forgot.
Shocking. Don, Michael, you knew that was the case.
Well, I got a lot of things to do. Why isn't he texting me?
I'd like to say before I start, Michael, I don't know how you feel. I think Don's Jets pick is one of the most putrid we've ever had.
We'll see. So make it your 2-point play right now. Patriots, show me
it's
something.
A little sketchy.
Otherwise, shut your mouth.
I just hate that.
Well, then you hate it, and then it would be ignorant for it not to be one of your picks.
No,
Peter, Michael, am I wrong? Am I wrong, Michael?
No, you're not wrong either.
Well, hold on. But hear me out, Michael. Don, I can't speak to today. Obviously, he told Colin he's never going to listen. He's not going to listen to me either. It's not that it's the most wrong pick of all time. It's just steeped in emotion. He's taking Marco to the game. I'm repulsed. Not by the moment. That'll be beautiful. But the pick. Ugh. Now, as for me, I have 2 guaranteed winners. So if anyone wants to make money this week, here you go. I already gave you one last night. We knew San Francisco would cover. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for you today because it's the kind of guy that I am. My 2-point play, I tried them last week. I got it wrong. This is the week they get off the schneid. Well, it's only a 1-week schneid. I don't even know if it's a thing. The Detroit Lions giving 3 at home to the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons barely held on to beat up a beat-up Packers team in Atlanta last week. Lions off a tough loss last week at home. I see them getting it back this week. Short 3 at home. I'll take the Lions in my 2-point play. And I've hinted at it all week, and now with the bad weather, I like it even more. Honestly, the weather they're calling for in D.C., anyone winning by more than 6 points could be crazy. But the Washington running game behind B-Rob and Antonio Gibson, very, very strong. Also, Sam Howell can get out there and move as well. I like the Commanders at 6 all week. It was 6.5. I dug it. Now it's 6, and there's tons of rain. I'll take my Commies getting the 6 at home as my 1-point play. Commies for 1 point, getting 6, and the Lions giving 3 as my 2-point play.
All right,
sorry. I forgot. I forgot, and I want to get this right. Bear the dog does have a pick as well, and Bear likes the Ravens to cover the 8 at home against the Colts.
Hack dog. Here are my picks. 1 point.
Wow. 3-point play.
Do you know that Josh Allen is 13-7-1 against the spread against the NFC? The Bills, by the way, if you missed it, they crushed the Raiders. Washington's offensive line is not good. Allen's going to run a lot against the Commanders' defensive line. The Commanders should not be 2-0. This is a low number. The Bills will destroy them. I don't care if it's Legacy Day or whatever. It's the Bills. I'll give the 6, and I'll love it when they win by 14. That's my one.
I'm not mad at that pick.
Literally a horrible pick. Don, you like it or don't like it?
I like it a lot.
Horrible pick. I want a side bet? Let's put 5,000. 5,000 right now. Put your money where your mouth is, Mr. 1-point play.
Pick 'em.
Why would I put $5,000 on a 1-point play, you clown?
I don't know.
My
You
2-point pick.
Confident.
My 2-point pick. I'm taking the Chargers at the Vikings. The Vikings are a 1-point favorite. Do you know that Justin Herbert as an underdog is 12-6 against the spread? They're good. They're 0-2, but they're good. The Vikings are 30th in yards rushing and also in stopping the run. They're not a good team right now. They're just not. I think you get the Chargers at this low of a number, actually get a point. Give me it. That's my 2-point play.
You don't mind no Austin Eckler for the Chargers?
I don't care.
All right, just checking.
Here's my 3-point pick. You know how difficult it is going from the East Coast time zone to the Pacific time zone? That's what the Steelers are doing on a short week. And you might say, well, I mean, what does that mean? Well, teams that go from the East Coast time zone to the West Coast time zone on short rest, they're 8-16 against the spread over the last 20 years. And that's going to happen again. Vegas is giving 2.5 to the Steelers. Short week, cross country. Pickett's not going to win any awards as a great quarterback. Give me those Raiders, baby, and give me them for 3 points. That's my 3 picks for the week.
Three. Don, I'm sorry, Don. I want to apologize to you.
What?
Because I said that your Jets pick was among the most putrid I'd ever heard, and then Michael gave his 3, and they may have all been worse than yours. Yeah, I'm disgusted by these picks.
Why don't you
In fact, the Bills one may be the best one, and I'm disgusted by that one too.
Let me. If I get 6 points out of this, right? You know, why don't you kiss my backside when I come to the studio?
What do I get if you go?
You get the joy of kissing my backside.
Well, it does not sound like an appealing bet.
Not at all.
Unbelievable. I've been terrible the first 2 weeks. I did a lot of work. I did a lot of work last night trying to be great for the people, and all I get is abuse. I might just bow out.
Yeah, you know, if you go over 3 here, I think you should.
That's a wrap on the show for today. Coming up next, our coverage of the Yankees and Diamondbacks gets underway with Yankees batting practice today. For all of us here on the Michael K. Show, this is Chris Sheeran saying have a great night, enjoy the game, enjoy your weekend. We will see you Monday at 3 o'clock.
With ButcherBox, you never have to worry about what's for dinner. We deliver grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Get high-quality meat sourced from trusted partners with free shipping always. Join and get free ground pork and drumsticks for 3 months. Sign up for ButcherBox today.
See everything your restaurant can do with tools from Square. Get a POS that connects to a KDS so you can handle orders ASAP. Reach more customers with online ordering and QR codes. Use pocket-sized hardware so you can turn tables faster. And get one account for everything so you can take care of it all and take it easy too. Get your all-in-one restaurant system and sign up at square.com today.
Trying on glasses using Warby Parker's virtual try-on is so lifelike, so realistic, that you might not even be able to tell what's real from what's virtual. Yep, it's that good. Virtually try on hundreds of styles in the Warby Parker app.
Having a family is one of life's most precious gifts and biggest responsibility. At Colonial Penn, we understand how important it is to take care of the people you love at any age, on any budget. That's why we were among the first to guarantee life insurance for men and women over age 50. Acceptance is guaranteed for everyone between the ages of 50 and 85 without exception. Get the peace of mind that comes with knowing your loved ones will have help with the bills you leave behind.
Visit colonialpenn.com to learn more.
We just signed the lease on our 3rd shop. I guess we're a chain now, right? We worked so hard to get here. My assistant went to customink.com to get our new uniforms and merch with all the location names. Our custom gear helps him get our brand out into the community. He takes care of all of our custom ink orders. He was able to find great products, upload the new art, and have boxes sent directly to each of the shops. Custom Ink makes it so easy. Get started today at customink.com.
As easy as Home Chef's fast and fresh meals. Relax during the home stretch with a meal filled with fresh, pre-portioned ingredients while your microwave or oven does all the work, so you can clean your plate and skip the cleanup after. Get dinner done quicker with Home Chef's fast and fresh meals, so you can spend your 5 to 9 however you want to. Delicious meets simple. Get 18 free meals at homechef.com.
We heard you, Jersey, clear and loud. So we built you a new Hard Rock app made for New Jersey. And we'll match your first deposit, throw in up to 1,000 free spins and more when you sign up for Hard Rock Bet. New fun and games added each month with more slots from Atlantic City. Brand new loyalty redeemed straight from your phone or in person. And our new top-rated sportsbook, the only place for flex parlays. Now our bets hit different because your app is different. Sign up now to get your first deposit matched up to 1,000 free spins and up to a $1,000 bonus bet.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Yes.
Behind a fantastic performance by Garrett Cole last night, the Yankees took the finale of a 3-game series from Toronto, a team they will see again north of the border next week. This evening, Luke Weaver pitches in the Bronx for the first time as a Yankee after he made his team debut 6 days ago in Pittsburgh. He's first up on the mound as the Yanks open their final home series of the season, a 3-game set versus a Diamondbacks team fighting for a playoff spot with action set to begin a little over an hour from now. Heading right into the cage, we see Esteban Florial as he gets ready for action. He has recorded a hit in 6 of his last 8 games, including an RBI double last night. Next, we've got Aaron Judge in the cage. Tomorrow, the first 18,000 guests at the stadium will receive a special number 62 Judge bobblehead. That's the second bobblehead in a 2-part collectible series, by the way. And finally, we've got Jake Bauers, who played in the game last night for the first time in a week, and it paid off with a 3-run homer in the bottom of the first. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Yankees Batting Practice today, presented by Audi. I'm Chris Sheeran. Coming up on the show, we will revisit Garrett Cole's outing last night. We will flash back to the 2001 World Series, but we open up with the starting pitchers for the series opener between the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. Pitching matchup is our key to the game, presented by your local Kia dealers. Arizona goes with 24-year-old rookie Brandon Pfaadt. He has held his own lately after getting hit hard right after making his MLB debut in early May. The Yankees counter with former Diamondback Luke Weaver, who makes the second start with the team. Weaver made his Yankees debut, as we mentioned, against another National League foe last Saturday when he started against the Pirates. He gave up 3 runs, but he was able to work 4 innings just 4 days after the Yanks claimed him off waivers from Seattle. He struck out 7 batters before the bullpen threw 5 perfect innings in a 6-3 Yankees win. We mentioned Weaver's a former Diamondback. He was part of the return Arizona received when it traded Paul Goldschmidt to St. Louis, and he pitched in 49 games for Arizona, including 38 starts from 2019 until he was traded again midway through last year. Weaver's Yankees debut saw him throw a much higher percentage of cutters than he did earlier this year while he pitched for the Reds and Mariners. Cutters accounted for just a little over 8% of his pitches with those teams, but he threw that pitch almost 46% of the time against Pittsburgh. His counterpart, Pfaadt, was up and down between the majors and minors a few times earlier this year, but he appears to be here to stay since his current run with the Diamondbacks began in late July. A 5th-round pick in the 2020 draft, Pfaadt blew through the minors and was summoned up to the majors with just 15 AAA starts on his resume. He dominated on his way up the ladder, and right now he has a chance to impact the Diamondbacks club that currently holds the 2nd National League wildcard spot. The problems Pfaadt had in the initial portion of his rookie Salta went on the injured list with a left tricep strain, and the Yanks promoted 23-year. During Aaron Boone's pregame media session, he was asked what sort of role the newest Yankee might have, and Boone's answer is our quote of the day, presented by Toyota.
We'll see. I mean, there could be a spot start in there, but he's built up like a starter, so gives us another guy with length, you know, especially if we get into a weather situation this weekend and we have double headers and stuff. You know, you want that bulk behind like a Weaver. You know, if there's a start in there for a Brito or a Vasquez, or injuries, you got guys that have some real length, which hopefully is something that serves us well, and hopefully, gets him an opportunity or two down the stretch here to see what he can do up here.
What have you thought of his season in the minors?
Yeah, started out hurt. He's obviously dealt with a lot of injuries early on in his career, but he's somebody that we think highly of. I think he has a chance to be a really good starter. I really do. But he's young, and even in his experience, just because of some of the injuries that he's had to deal with in his young career. But do feel like this is a talented guy with a pretty high ceiling.
Mark, Brian, Joe.
What exactly happened with Wandy? He pitched that game in Boston, and then what?
I don't know when he was. We were kind of probably when we got to Pittsburgh. There was a day where wasn't feeling great, and he's just got some little thing going on in the triceps. Actually, he threw yesterday or the day before, and actually went pretty well. Came in yesterday better, but we still felt like we're gonna have to get him aside to make sure, and just felt like, is this the best thing to push through right now? Again, I feel like it's minor, and shouldn't impact him in free agency at all. But as we piled up the days here, not something we wanted to have him push through and do something worse to it.
I know you said the other day that you've liked Florial's at bat. Are you seeing anything different, any more comfort with him than his other stints here, or even in spring?
Probably a little bit, yeah. I think he's done a good job of seeing pitches here. He's been getting on base a little bit, which has been nice. A big hit against a tough lefty last night to add on to a lead for us. He's gotten some good swings off. I feel like he just overall the competitive at bats have been more consistent than we've seen before at this level.
Chris,
what have you thought of Wells' offense so far?
Well, offense been a little bit of a struggle for him, but I do feel like he's got a real presence in the box. Like, he's a guy I feel like long term he's going to hit. Obviously, the other night it was good to see him, have the double down the line, and then obviously really stepped on one for the home run, his first home run of his career.
Here's the lineup the manager is sending out tonight. Estevan Florial leads off, followed by Aaron Judge and Gleyber Torres. Wells bats cleanup, with Giancarlo Stanton and Jake Bauers batting 5th and 6th. Bauers is making back-to-back starts after not playing in any of the Yankees' previous 6 games. Anthony Volpe, Oswaldo Cabrera, and Oswald Peraza bat 7, 8, 9. Arizona features a familiar foe in Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who spent his first 5 MLB seasons with Toronto before he was traded to the Diamondbacks this past offseason. There's a former Yankee in there, the number 8 hitter, Jace Peterson, and the marquee batter to watch tonight, that, of course, is the leadoff man, Corbin Carroll. The 16th overall pick in the 2019 draft, Carroll got his first taste of the majors late last season, and this year, the 23-year-old has put together an historic rookie campaign. He has become the first rookie in Major League history to record 25 home runs and 50 stolen bases. His presence has helped Arizona continue a dramatic resurgence after improving by 22 wins from the 21 season to 22. Arizona has added another 7 wins and counting this year as the club fights for what would be its first trip to the postseason since 2017. Now, it is Carroll, and then there's everyone else when it comes to the National League Rookie of the Year award. Mets pitcher Kodai Senga is probably the head of the field, and there are the other rookies having nice years, but Carroll has been so prolific that it would be a huge upset if he did not win the honor. Some people might say the same thing about Garrett Cole when it comes to the American League Cy Young Award. We will revisit his great performance last night after our first break on BPTV. Then later we will hear from Gleyber Torres, who proudly represents the country of Venezuela every time he puts on a Yankees uniform. Plus, we will point out some things to look out for when Aaron Judge and the Yankees open their 3-game series with the Diamondbacks. Yankees batting practice today is presented by Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. Visit your tri-state Audi dealer today.
Get tools that bring every angle of your beauty business together. Clients can book online 24/7 for multiple services and multiple staff, so scheduling is simple. And with client notes and stored payments, you can offer seamless checkouts, so clients keep coming back. Run your beauty business with tools that bring everything together. Get started at square.com today.
Word is spreading fast about Colonial Penn's guaranteed life insurance. Rates are designed to fit your budget, even if you are on a fixed income. To learn more about the life insurance plan everyone's talking about, log on to colonialpenn.com. That's colonialpenn.com.
At Warby Parker, we believe in vision for all. Not just in the sense that we offer lots of frame styles and sizes, because we do. Or that we have glasses, sunglasses, contacts, and eye exams. There's also that. But because we believe everyone has the right to see. So for every pair sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free, or visit a nearby store.
See it to believe it.
Thanks for coming back this year on BPTV. Even way back in April and May, Garrett Cole's performances had people wondering if this was the season that he would earn a Cy Young Award for the first time in his career. He's been dynamite the whole way, and he very well may have locked up the honor last night with his performance. Now, you never want to think about the possibility of a no-hitter or a perfect game too early in a start for any pitcher, but the way Cole looked right from Jump Street against the Blue Jays, we wouldn't blame any of you there for thinking a historic performance might have been in the offering. He made it over halfway to history, retiring the first 16 Toronto batters he faced before giving up a hit and ultimately wound up throwing 8 innings of 1-run ball in the Yanks' 5-3 win. The American League leader in ERA and other categories is lined up for one more start, a rematch with the Jays in Toronto. One of the other things in the categories is innings pitched, where he's leading. He hit 200 on the nose last night, becoming just the 5th active pitcher with 6 years of 200 innings on their resume. And as our post-game show mentioned Thursday, the man is on a path towards Cooperstown. And on the field afterwards, our Meredith Marakovitz asked Cole what allowed him to be so effective.
We were, extremely unpredictable, in my opinion. Ben was outstanding back there, reading swings and putting us in good positions to attack the zone with different pitches. And then we were executing at a high clip.
At what point in time did you feel like you had everything and you were fully locked in? Because it seemed like whatever he put down, you were throwing it well.
Yeah, I mean, not sure. But not sure. I mean, we did a good job to Springer in the first at bat, executing, 4 or 5 consecutive breaking balls. And so that that was a pretty good sign that if we were going to do that, we'd have a little bit more room with the fastball, and then, as we progress through the game, we're going to need to toggle back and forth between starting hard and finishing soft, or starting soft and finishing hard.
You took a perfect game into that 6th inning. Are you thinking about it at all at that point in time, or still way too early?
Too early.
And you also hit the 200-inning mark that for the 6th time in your career. How much pride do you take in your ability to go out there every 5 days?
Yeah, that's a big number for me. But you got to have a good game plan. You got to have good catching. You got to have great defense. So it's a culmination of playing good baseball more oftentimes than not when I'm out on the field, and a lot of credit goes to the other guys that give me the opportunity to do that.
You mentioned the other guys, but really all season long, you have been your best self. What do you think it has been this year for you?
I came into spring training prepared, and had some concerted adjustments that we wanted to make from last year, and really just got off on a good foot, and then as the league's adjusting, we adjust back to them. So it's nice to kind of set the tone, when you come out, because you can take some risks after that as the season progresses, and so.
Do you feel like you've more than made your case for the Cy Young?
Well, it's not up to me, so and I'm not done yet, so maybe ask me after the last one.
While Cole handled his business on the mound, 8 of the Yankees' 9 batters had at least 1 hit, including Oswaldo Cabrera. Ben Rortvedt was the exception. Cabrera is putting together a nice finish to the season after, at times, being a bit of a forgotten man amidst the Yankees youth movement. But he has come on down the stretch, and his versatility has been on display as well. He's made starts at third base, left field, and right field over his last 10 games. The 24-year-old is doing his best to give the Yanks something to think about when talks begin about next season's roster. And during that 10-game stretch, Cabrera's batting .306 with 3 extra base hits, including that home run in Pittsburgh last Saturday that took place after Cabrera held one of Roberto Clemente's bats at the Clemente Museum the night before.